everybody, welcome to Board Online, Board Offline. Today we're going to bring you a Mage Knight gameplay. It's been quite a while since I did my last one. Figured I'd get another one in there. Now this is going to be a scenario from the Shades of Tezla expansion. I'm going to be using Krang for my hero, which is a hero from the Krang expansion. And so we've got a lot of expansion stuff going on here. On top of that, this is a pretty interesting scenario, very different than one I've played before. So you'll see me kind of learning the pace and everything of this scenario as I play it, because this is my very first time playing it. Also, I'll go in and tell you that during the setup, I missed one bit of instruction. I should have had an extra mana die throughout this entire scenario, as well as an extra creature in the, or unit in the unit offer. I forgot to do that, so I kind of hamstrung myself a little bit when I was playing it. Regardless, we'll see how I do. Maybe I can pull it out anyway. We will find out. Right now, we're going to get into the setup for this scenario. Also, while you're watching, if you think this is something that you might enjoy in Mage Knight, then be sure to check the description for a way to purchase the game, and just a little bit of those proceeds will go to the channel. And there's also other ways to support the channel in the description below as well. All right, let's get right down to the table. Okay, so we're going to start over here on the side table real quick, where all my cards are kept. Cards here, monster tokens here. I've got this stack of my terrain tiles, all my tokens, and all that stuff over here, as well as the dummy player right here, Brevilar, which, as you can see, the dummy player is going to start with 2 blue crystals and 1 green mana crystal. And then here's his deck down here. I would put it beside him here, but that's where the offers are going to come out here in a second. Now, the scenario we're playing is from the Shades of Tezla expansion, and we're going to be playing the Lost Relic. All right, now, one thing about Lost Relic that, I was flipping through here. I knew I wanted to play something from this book. I've actually never played any of the expansions or any of the scenarios from this expansion. So I wanted to play one from here, and I saw this 2 rounds, which is very, very short for a Mage Knight game. And so, it makes me think I'm probably going to be rushing, having to really move through this. And there's some interesting special rules in here. For instance, each player begins the game starting at level 3, which is pretty interesting. I haven't seen that before. So we're gonna go through this. There's a lot of extra stuff in here, such as I'll be gaining a lot of extra fame every time I go up on the fame track. Every time I get to a new line, I'll actually get an extra fame point just for leveling up. Player scores 1 fame point when they reveal a new map tile. If it contains a ruined city, they score an additional 1 fame. The rampaging Draconium on the core tiles are actually going to be green enemies instead. Cities, and keep in mind that says on the core tiles, there are a few of the country tiles, the green tiles, that have Draconium, so I believe that they would still be Draconium. Cities are destroyed, though, so we won't be using any cities at all, and instead I have to go into the cities, kill the Draconium that live in the cities, and find the pieces of the Lost Relic. All right, so now there are 2 cities in the solo version of the Lost Relic, so I'm going to have to conquer two Draconium in the cities in 2 days, or in 2 rounds, 1 day, 1 night. So it's a 24-hour deal here, and that's basically what that paragraph is telling you. And remove all elite units that can only be recruited in cities. I haven't removed them from here, but if they come up, we'll just ignore them. We'll move on to the next one. All right, so a couple extra things. So we've got 6 country tiles, 2 core tiles. We'll have the open map shape. Now, obviously, this is way more than that. I just stacked. My stack ends right. Where is it? Okay, so that's my stack right there. And so basically, once we get through the gold tiles and see a green tile again, we know that we've run through our entire stack at that point. Also, when we see 3 total core tiles, we know we're done with our possible terrain. Let's see, what else we have here. So there'll be 2 city tiles, 1 non-city tile. We're using a standard dummy player, so not Volcair. I am going to get a gameplay with Volcair from the Lost Legion expansion at some point too, but this one was just so interesting, and I had a specific request for a mission from this book, so I decided that that's what we're going to do. Special rules. Basically, I'll always take tactics first in the 2 rounds, and at the end of each day or night, remove both tactic cards from the game. Not that it'll matter because, again, we're only doing one, one round each of day and night. The scenario ends when all relics have been collected, and then I'll have one last turn. The dungeon player does not, and we move into scoring. All right. So now, what we've got to do right now is level up our character, because you can see we're starting up here at level 3. So let's go through this checklist. I've never done this before. Everything you see me doing right now is going to be my first time in terms of stuff specific to this scenario. All right. So let's see. We'll go through all the scoring when we get to that point. So starting at higher level, the rules require blah, 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 obviously. Okay, so before setting up the game, including laying out the map tiles, that's where you don't see any of my offers yet or anything. Before setting up the game, for each odd number level after the first, each player draws 2 skills, chooses one and puts the other in the common skill pool. All right, so let's do that first. Obviously, we're level 3, so we only need to do this once. And here are our 2 tiles. Let's take a closer look at these. All right, so this skill is Spirit Guides. And by the way, I am playing as Krang. So that's who I'll be playing in this game. And my dummy player is, as you saw, was Brevilar. So that's who the additional skills that we might be seeing a little bit later will be. All right, so anyway, Spirit Guides. Once a turn, move 1, as you can see there, and you may add +1 to any block of any type in the block phase. All right. And then here, we'll see, this one is right here, Curse. Once a turn, either reduce 1 attack of an enemy by 1 or reduce armor of one enemy by 1 to a minimum of 1. So you can't kill an enemy with that. You cannot use this skill on a fortified enemy in the ranged and siege attack phase. So once we get to the melee attack phase, then we could use it even if they're fortified. All right, well, since I only have 2 rounds to get through everything here, I mean, granted, I am going to have to be fighting Draconum, so knocking down their attack, and this is knocked down. That's knocked down any form of attack from the looks of it, ice, fire, or regular, or cold fire. But I still think guaranteeing this movement early on, and I mean, it does give me defense as well, so that could be helpful here. And that's probably a once per round, isn't it? I believe both of them are. No, that's once a turn. Okay. And what about this one? They're both once a turn. Okay. So I am going to go with this. I'm going to go with Spirit Guide. That's what we're going to go with for our first skill that we get. All right. So now this would go into the common skills offer. So right here, which means technically later I could pick that up, but if I did, I wouldn't have a choice as far as which action card I took when I leveled up. It would have to be the lowest one in the offer. Also, because I leveled up, the dummy player has 1 skill that goes into the common skills offer. So it's this right here, which you can see is elemental resistance. Once a turn, ignore either the next 2 points of damage assigned to your hero from a single fire or ice attack, or 1 point of damage from another type of attack. Okay. Now this, obviously, I can't use it right now. However, in future turns, when I upgrade, or when I level up, I should say, then I could select this one, but the same rules would apply to selecting this. I wouldn't have a choice as far as which action card I took. All right, so next up, let's see, we'll keep the skills. Let's put that there for now. I obviously already start with, just like normal, 1 of these command tokens, which lets me recruit 1 unit to follow me right now. However, since I've leveled up to level 3, I now have a second one, and that of course gives me 3 armor and a 5 card hand instead of 2 armor and a 5 card hand. The rules now say that because I'm starting at a higher level, I can pick 2 crystals of these colors down here. So, let's look through. Let me show you what the different cards are that Krang has in his deck real quick, because obviously everybody starts with relatively the same deck, but there are 2 cards that are different. And you can see one is Savage Harvesting. Move 2. Once this turn, when you move a space, you may discard a card to gain a crystal of the same color. If you discard an artifact, you may choose the color. Or move 4. Each time you move a space this turn, you may discard a card to gain a crystal of the same color. If you discard an artifact, you may choose the color. All right, so that's Savage Harvesting. And then here we have Ruthless Coercion. Influence 2, you may get a discount of 2 towards the cost of recruiting 1 unit. If you recruit that unit this turn, then reputation -1. All right, or the upgraded or the more powerful ability, Influence 6, reputation -1. You may ready level 1 and 2 units you control by paying 2 influence per level of unit. I think early in the game, being able to use this effectively will probably be more worthwhile. So I will go ahead and make sure that I have a green, which means I can get, I'm assuming that I can't get 2 green, so I'm gonna go green and red. So there we go, 1 red, 1 green crystal. Let me shuffle my action deck back up, my D deck. So next up I need to deal myself a number of cards based on this table here. So first off, type of card, advanced action, character level +2. Now I'm not gonna be able to keep all these, but you'll see what's going on here. So first, I'm going to get, what is it? I'm level 3 right now, so 5 advanced actions. And then, let's see, so also 5 regular units, 3 spells, 2 artifacts. All right, so now that I've drawn those, each player can take for free 1 advanced action for each odd number level after the first one. So I can take 1. All right, so let's take a look at these advanced actions first. All right, so I get 1 of these for free. A lot of white actions here, which is not necessarily good for me, and then blue's the other one, whereas I'm really more of a red-green guy right now. But let's see, this is gain a crystal to your inventory of the same color as a crystal you already own, so that could be really good. This guy is doing influence. Here we've got gain a white crystal inventory, also ranged attack. Ranged attack is always fantastic. Up here, we've got Influence 2. You may use Influence as block this turn, or Influence 4. Choose Ice or Fire. You may use Influence as block for the chosen element this turn. So Diplomacy is definitely good, but here we got more movement. So, I really, really like having the ranged attack possibility, but it does require having white crystals. Crystal Mastery is very, very good, though. You can see I can gain the crystal in my inventory of the color I already own, but also at the end of my turn, if I use the strong ability, any crystals I have spent this turn are returned to my inventory. All right. Basically, it came down to these 3 were the ones that I was left with as far as what I was trying to decide between. I think I'm going to go with Swift Bolt, and that may end up being a mistake, but that's what we're going to go with, is Swift Bolt. All right, so now, though, after I've gotten my 1 free one, if the player has any influence, oh, wait, let's see, sorry, back up here. Then each player has 6 influence per level to spend on buying whatever cards they want for the cost shown. I'm level 3, so I've got 18 influence. So you can see here for each action card, advanced action card, 6 points per card beyond the free one. All right, so for regular units, it's the unit's influence cost. All right, so it's just the regular cost. For spells, 9 points or 7 points and a crystal of the appropriate color. All right. Then artifacts are 12 points, and then 3 points just to purchase a crystal. All right, so let's see what we got here. Let's look at the artifacts first. We've got these 2 artifacts. Endless Gem Pouch. Roll a mana die 2 times. Gain a crystal to your inventory for each color rolled this way. If you roll gold, you choose the color. If you roll black, fame +1 instead of a crystal. Or I could completely destroy the Endless Gem Pouch and gain a mana token of each basic color. Also get 1 gold if it's daytime, or 1 black if it's nighttime for mana tokens. Then here, Emerald Ring, gain a green mana token and a green crystal to your inventory, fame +1, or burn the card, and you have an endless supply of green and black mana this turn. Fame +1 for each green spell you cast this turn. Okay. This one could be really good. I'm not sure if it's worth 12 influence, though. So let's look at this. So I could get this one for 7 if I'm willing to burn that crystal I just got, that red crystal. When this one is really good, because Fire Block 4, if this card is used as part of a successful block, you may use it during your attack phase as Fire Attack 4, or Fire Block 4, if this card is used as part of a successful block, destroy the blocked enemy. That obviously can only be used at night. Then we've got Chill. Target enemy does not attack this turn. If it has fire resistance, it loses it for the rest of the turn. Target enemy does not attack this combat and gets armor -4 to a minimum of 1 for the rest of the turn. Okay. Mana Bolt. When you play this, pay a mana. If you play blue, ice attack 8, red, cold fire attack 7, white, ranged ice attack 6, green, siege ice attack 5. See siege and ice. That's good, but it's very expensive. You got to pay this blue mana, and then you got to pay an additional one on top. And then all that stuff is just charged up even more at night, because now you're paying blue, black, and whatever that is. So out of these two are the ones that really interest me. This one will take up half my influence. This one will take up a little bit less. All right, I think I'm going to not get Burning Shield. I'm going to take Mana Bolt / Mana Thunderbolt, which is going to be 9 points. So I have 7 remaining, which means the artifacts are also no longer a possibility. So I'll go and put them back in their deck. So like I said, I have 7 remaining. Let's look at our units over here, because I do have 2 openings for units. Guardian Golems are always great. Over here we've got Attacker Block 3, Fire Attack or Fire Block 4 for the Red Cape Monks. Utum Swordsman, Attacker Block 3, Attacker Block 6, and then he becomes wounded. Crossbowman, Attacker Block 3, Range Attack 2, always like having extra range. Shock Troops, Range Attack 1. All your other units get +1 to their attacks this turn. Also, I can reduce armor and 1 attack of chosen enemy by 1, or reduce 1 enemy attack by 3. Any damage from that attack must be assigned to this unit first, even if the enemy has Assassin or Assassination. Now, of course, if I get any of these 3, then I'll be wasting 1 of my influence. That's not necessarily a bad thing. They might be the right choice. These guys will take up the rest of my influence. I like the amount of blocking these guys can do. It's got elemental blocking. I am going to be going up against dragons. I'm going to take the Guardian Golems. That's what I'm going to grab. And that will be all of my influence. All right, so now we set up the game. The rest of the game as normal, so let's get our spells offer out here. We need 3 spell cards. We've got Offering. Gain a red crystal to your inventory. You may discard up to 3 non-wound cards from your hand. For each discarded card, gain a crystal of the matching color to your inventory. For artifacts you choose. In Sacrifice, choose green or white, then choose red or blue. Gain Siege Attack 4 if you choose green, or Ranged Attack 6 if you chose white. For each pair of crystals of one of each of these colors in your inventory, this attack is fire. Wait. Oh, okay. For each pair of either green or white. Okay, gotcha. All right, so then this attack is fire if you chose red, or ice if you chose blue. Then all these crystal pairs, then turn all these crystal pairs into mana. Okay, so that's very expensive, but very powerful as well. All right, we've got Mind Read. Choose a color. Gain a crystal of the chosen color to your inventory. Each other player must actually, so 17, 18, and 19, we don't use those in a solo or cooperative game because they are interactive spells or competitive spells. Let's see. All right, Burning Shield. So that's one we just saw. So that's back up now. And Flame Wall. We got 3 red spells here. Fire Attack 5 or Block 7, or Fire Block 7. And then Flame Wave, Fire Attack 5 or Fire Block 7. This attack or block gets increased by 2 for each enemy token you are facing. All right, so now let's take a look at our unit offer. We've got some Utum Swordsmen. We saw those guys a minute ago. Utum Guardsmen, saw them as well. And Magic Familiars, all right? So attack 3, you can use red to get +2, or block 4, blue gives you +3, or move or influence 3, the white gives you +2, or heal 2, the green gives you +1. And finally, our deeds offer. Frost Bridge. Move 2. The move cost of swamps is reduced to 1 this turn. Or the powered up version, move 4. You're able to travel through lakes, and the move cost of lakes and swamps is reduced to 1 this turn. Maximal effect. When you play this, throw away another action card from your hand. Use the basic effect of that card 3 times. Or when you play this, throw away another action card from your hand. Use the stronger effect of that card 2 times for free. And finally, Spellforge. Gain 1 crystal to your inventory of the same color as one of the spell cards in the spell's offer, or gain 2 crystals to your inventory of the same colors as two of different spell cards in the spell's offer. All right, and finally, let's lay out the map. We need 3 tiles to get this started. There we go. So we've got a den, and I believe that's what it's called, right? It'd be a monster den, which is where we can go fight a brown monster. We have a red crystal mine here, and then we've got a rampaging green enemy, which is an orc stone thrower, 7 attack. It's fortified, has physical resistance, only 2 armor though. And that right there is, let's see, what was that? It's cumbersome, so that symbol means that in the block phase, you may spend move points. For each move point spent, the attack is reduced by 1 for the rest of the turn. So basically you can use movement to kind of get out of the way as this thing's launching stuff at you. Attack reduced to 0 is considered successfully blocked. All right, our next tile, right here. So we've got a mage tower right here. So the mage tower, we don't know what is going to be there until we get adjacent to it. So we can find out pretty quickly, but we won't know until we get there. Here we've got a dungeon where we can face, I believe, gray enemies is the dungeon. Nope, that's also brown enemies. And over here we've got a keep, which also, if we get adjacent to it, we'll be able to figure out what's there. And the final tile. So we've got a glade right here where I can get some, I can heal, and I can also get some gold mana tokens. Here we've got an ancient ruin, so I'll need to put, so I put one of these tiles there, and since it's daytime, it actually goes face up. So we'll be able to see that we'll have to fight a green rampaging enemy and a draconum, but if we defeat it, we'll get both a artifact and a advanced action. So that's pretty good. And then we have another rampaging green enemy here. Orc skirmishers. We've got 4 armor and 2 separate 1 attack or 1 damage attacks. And then obviously worth 2 fame right there. And then we've got a village down here. And so that's the setup here for the game. I think that's everything. Oh no, the one thing we need, we also need to roll our mana dice. So we've got 1 gold, a blue, and a white. So pretty good. We have, basically we've got access to all the possible mana during the daytime now because we have our 2 crystals over here, the other 2 mana here, and gold. So that's actually a really good start. Oh, the last thing we need to do, well, you know what? We'll pick our tactics when we actually start the round in the next video. Let's go back up top. So there you go. That is the setup for the Lost Relic scenario for Mage Knight. Very excited to get into this and show you what happens. Again, very interesting, much faster pace as you can imagine. Only 2 rounds, and you got to get to 2 different relics that are in 2 ruined cities on the map. So clearly that can, you know, push the pace a little bit beyond what I'm used to. Normally it's 6 rounds, you know. So hope you have enjoyed this video so far. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel, consider subscribing. And until next time, if you're bored online, bored offline.